Especially in a time like this, a lot of us are dealing with uncertainty and discomfort, some worse than others. And I feel like especially in this time now where there's so much access to information and the rate of human evolution, keeping up with our mental hygiene has been harder than ever. And for some people who don't have access to these conversations and tools are the ones suffering the most. Mental hygiene and health awareness, I believe, is like a right for everyone and anyone, and it doesn't apply just to people who have nothing to worry about. If you have daily struggles and things that you face on a day-to-day basis, then even more you should join in on this conversation and be adapting these tools, because our mental state actually affects how we creatively solve things and find better solutions and stay positive. Instagram, I kind of depict this almost like a perfect crafted piece of pottery for the public, like a product, right? And life is so lit and it's so perfect, what could I possibly struggle with? But that's the funny thing about life, is I believe it's like yin yang, right? Like there's good in the bad and bad in the good. It will always exist with one another. And even though I seem to have everything and had the perfect life, behind the scenes I was struggling with my relationships with my family, my friends, my loved ones, work, and insecurities of myself. And I started drowning myself with these horrible habits, unhealthy habits, going out late, not sleeping, overworking, overpromising, and eventually I take it out of my life and I couldn't get it out of my head. I felt depressed over the slightest things, and I was constantly complaining about how people behaved. But unknowingly, I actually ended up doing that to the people that were around me. Eventually, I kind of lost sight and couldn't recognize who I was publicly or among the people that I love. And I realized it was because I was trying to check all these boxes, and then I ended up losing myself in the process. At that point of time, my mental health was shit. I was so drained and tired because I kept saying yes to everything around me. I gave more of myself than I could give. I care about things that I shouldn't even care about, or pay attention to things that I shouldn't even pay attention to. And even when you deal with assholes and they kind of this negative energy kind of leeches onto you, with all of these things, keeping it in and not knowing what to do with it, I ended up projecting it onto my life. And I realized that I was craving all of these materialistic things to prove myself to everyone and to people around me, but it wasn't getting me anywhere. How much you do, how well you do, or how much you have really doesn't correlate with how happy you can be as a person. And we work so hard to chase all of these successes non-stop that we lose sight of what's really important around us. The most useful tool that I've learned is learning how to extract myself from disruptive conversations, and also creating a safe space when I'm facing bullies. It gave me space and clarity to kind of react with grace and stealth, a balance of grace and stealth. And giving yourself time to think about how you feel, why you feel the way that you feel, and what you're gonna do after that. That really helps you creatively see things differently and perceive things differently. And not only does it perceive things differently, you feel like you can hurdle over obstacles way easier on the worst days ever. We are so conditioned by our past generations and theirs by theirs to have been dealt with the cards of harsh communication and the belief that vulnerability is weakness, or to even feel like everything, we have to strive to success and that we have to do our duty to our parents. But children's suicide rates are rising year after year, and a lot of them are getting depression at a way younger age due to societal pressures, technology, eco-anxiety. What is it like living in a city like ours? And what is it like having these pressures? And what is mental health like during a time like this in COVID? Here are some tips that have helped me, and I hope that it will help you too. Notice when the emotions rise from in your body and know how you react to them. Set time aside for you time. Remember to play, rest, and most importantly, have fun. Set imaginary boundaries and find spaces that make you feel safe. You know, this could be a corner in your room or even just a spot in the neighborhood park. What you say will attract what comes next. The universe or people around you won't know how to help if you don't speak up about it. So don't be afraid to ask for help. In the next video, I'll be going around Singapore with my friend Dew, and we will be asking Singaporeans what's up about mental health.